Hi everyone, thank you for coming to my channel. Just like I talked in my previous YouTube video, we have blended family. So I have my ex-husband and current husband. That means I went through divorce, and probably it's true for many marriages. The difficult part is communication because it's intercultural, but I personally believe intercultural meaning interpersonal because each person has his or her own culture. So it comes down to intercultural, interpersonal communication. And if you're married, of course, husband and wife, you have two different views, two different lives, and you can have just argument or might turn into a more serious fight. But it's natural that we can have some conflict. But I want to talk about how I try to make it a little better so it won't get too bad. Although sometimes it does go bad. So anyway, what usually happens is if there is some different view or opinion that's different from mine, I take it personal. I try not to do that as often as possible, but sometimes it happens. So I have this feeling angry, frustrated, annoyed, and that comes from a lot of times from my own personal belief. I observe something and it means something to me which could be different from truth, but I take it personal and I feel like I'm attacked or ignored. And what happens is, then if you share that feeling, then if the other person take it personal, then it becomes a bad conflict. And in this book called The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work, written by John Gottman, there is a 4 horsemen that really gives big damage to marriage or communication or trust relationship, which is 1, criticism, and 2, contempt, and 3, defensiveness, and 4, stonewalling. So if one person in a couple observes something she or he doesn't like, and if we cannot communicate it well and give different message to the other person, and the other person might take it as a criticism or contempt, or even if it's expressed in a nice way, maybe it will trigger the other person's defensiveness or stonewalling. But if any of these happen, marriage won't work. So I read the book and I try not to criticize but complain. It says complaining and criticizing is different. Complaining, you can complain about certain behavior and ask that you don't like that behavior, so I want something different. But criticism is like you don't like certain behavior and you generalize and you deny that person. And contempt, and so I try not to be contempt and try not to be defensive when I hear the other person say something about me. I try to understand, or stonewall, detaching yourself. You need to always, even if you are angry or not feeling happy, you still need to come close to discuss. And in order not to do these 4 things, I think what's important is intention. I think intention is important, and I think it's the book called *Theseatofthesoul* by Gary Zukov. He talks about the importance of intention. In any situation, your intention is important because that becomes true. And what he says is whether or not you're aware you have intention, and even if you're not aware and you don't speak, things come true. So it's really important that you pay attention to what's happening to you and you will be aware of what your true intention is. So I think that requires mindfulness, because you can get rid of all the noise and focus on what's most important intention in you. And also, when you're communicating vulnerability, you need to express what's inside of you. So that's something I try every time I have this conflict with usually my husband about something. That can be something really small, as any couples know. Your fights or argument can start from something totally small. But I try to pay attention. Okay, so here, what's the most important thing to me? Yeah, it's easy to criticize him. Yeah, you did this, you did that, you didn't do this, you said that, or be defensive. I did nothing wrong and I'm fine. Like my intention is good, or you can just ignore that person. But what's your intention? Is your intention to be happily with this person? So I ask myself, what's your intention? And I try to go back to the core. Okay, I love you. I love this person. I love my husband. And what do I want to do is just have quality time with my husband. Right now, I'm in the middle of this argument that started from something small, but the bottom line is I want to come back to this happy couple mode. So knowing this intention is important, and I think expressing it is important. So I try to express it. I love you and I want to have quality time with you. And in order to do that, I think one more book influenced me a lot, which is called Nonviolent Communication. It's written by Marshall Rosenberg. He says it's really important to communicate in a non-violent way. So when I want to express my intention, then it's really important that I will express what I observe in a very objective way, not in a subjective, like you're selfish or you're stubborn or you did it wrong, but I see this is happening. And next thing is you need to share feeling. I feel certain way. And the next part is acknowledging needs. So this is, I think, connected to intention. What do I want? What kind of needs I have which is not fulfilled? And what is making me feel this negative feeling? And then if I know what I want, then I can put it in a more positive way. Just like I mentioned, instead of saying, I hate you watching TV all the time, not paying attention to me or something like that, but I say I want to have quality time with you, then I can make requests. So can we do this? Can we do that? So observation, objective observation, feeling, and acknowledging needs and requests are important steps, and that's I always try, although it's not successful all the time. But acknowledging needs is really helping me to think in a positive way instead of criticizing. Okay, you don't do this, but okay, so then what do I want? And of course, it's couple communication. It takes two people to communicate. So if the other person doesn't have the empathy to try to see it from the other person's perspective, maybe even if you did this nonviolent communication, maybe it won't be accepted. So we also need to listen to the other person with empathy. Even if it's not true in your world, for the other person's world, that's the truth. So that's something I try every day. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not successful, but I truly believe this is the most important part of having happy marriage, and I'm working on it myself. So today, question for everyone is, when you are having conflicts with people, are you aware with your intentions? And are you aware of your needs? And another question is, how do you express your needs and requests? So if you have any comments, please let me know by typing comments or emailing me or contacting me. Thank you very much. See you next time.